we're excited about the group that we have with us. And in particular, to have the 14 mid-years that are already here on campus, have gotten physicals, have begun classes, indoctrination to strength and conditioning. And I'll get a chance to spend some time with them today. Yesterday, their day was extremely busy with pre-testing, and I don't mean athletically, but academically pre-testing. And so I'll get a chance to spend a little bit more time with them today. So I think all in all, it's the 14 signees. I'd also like to comment on our grad transfer and Jack Cohn. Really excited about Jack coming in and joining us, a veteran quarterback. Really like his presence already. You can feel his veteran leadership in our program, and we're excited about what that brings to our program. Again, a great day for us in culminating what has been a very challenging year, but one that's very gratifying as well.
One of the things that we are most proud of is that we feel like we're recruiting at a good clip. We can always be better, but we are recruiting at a good clip. And then under Coach Kelly's leadership, our staff, our development within the program is translating to wins on the field. And we feel like that is a very positive, a positive marker for our program right now. Certainly, the recruiting rankings are a barometer. They are one of many. But ultimately, we are trying to translate the recruiting to wins on the field. And like I said, we're proud of what we accomplished here over the last 4 seasons. We are decentralized, and we've said this before. There are no recruiting superstars on the staff. It is a collective. And it starts with, at the very beginning, it starts with a geographic assignment for a assistant coach and for, frankly, members of the support staff, whether they be analysts, GAs, the recruiting office. Everybody's got an assigned recruiting area, and the job is to make sure that you know who the best players are in those areas. Begin the vetting process in terms of the fit to Notre Dame, beginning first with the academic profile, and then all the other standards to which we are going to hold guys. And then it is to begin to develop a relationship, not only with the player, but the coach and the important people in the prospect's life. From that point, if an area coach has a conviction, and coach, he empowers our staff to mind their areas, and if they see a guy they like and feel like is a fit, it then moves to the position coach. And we're going to say to, if I find a receiver in Hawaii, Coach Alexander, I really have a conviction about this guy. Here's everybody we've talked to. Here's all the information we've gathered. Let's get this guy evaluated. From the position coach, if the position coach has a good feeling about it, we then take it to the coordinators. And that includes myself as the recruiting coordinator, includes Mike Elston as the associate head coach, Coach Freeman, Coach Rees. And if that player goes through that process and we feel good about it, then we'll recommend that player get an offer. And from there, it's the collection of area coach, position coach, coordinator, recruiting coordinator. We're going to put our heads together and we're going to decide when we think it's advantageous to get Coach Kelly involved in the process. It's impossible for him to cover this entire country in the same way that it's impossible for any one assistant to know who every guy in the country is. So we're going to go to coach and ask him, hey, this is the point where we are in the process. Here's the things that we'd like you to touch upon. And here's where we feel like you can positively impact the recruitment of this prospect. And we have found through the last 5 years that Coach Kelly's process here is working well for us. Now, obviously, there are always things that we can do better, and we reflect on those things and try and get them corrected. And there are times, frankly, where the process of the prospect might move at a little quicker pace and we might have to speed through a step. But in the end, we feel very comfortable about where we're at with this, and we're excited about it.
Nobody really knows on signing day, where if you have a top 10 class or a top 5 class or a top 3 class until you see the fruition on the football field. Let's face it, you're going to put them through a developmental process, within your program, and then you're going to find out what kind of class you sign. So you're not going to know what that class looks like until they go through your process. And we believe here at Notre Dame, Coach Kelly has developed a developmental process with the support staff and with our coaching staff that is second to none. And our guys understand the process. And that's where we're evaluating on our recruiting cycles and how we're doing. So, when we look at our evaluation process that we go through in recruiting, there's the component that the national sites use to evaluate a football player, which is the simple stuff, which is flip on a football film, evaluate how they run, evaluate how they tackle, how they throw, how they catch. There's the evaluation of going to a practice, a game, an in-person visit. We do all of that stuff that the national media does. But here at Notre Dame, we have to dive deeper. We can't just off of a 247 rating say, this is a 4-star prospect. There's more to it for us in this evaluation process and Coach Kelly's evaluation process. And, for example, those things are a young man's academic foundation, his academic core curriculum. Does he have the support system to be successful at Notre Dame? And, there's a rating on that, for our football staff that Coach Kelly's put together. Is he a good citizen? What's his citizenship? Does he make great decisions? Is he a leader? Does he have great leadership qualities? So we put ratings on all of that stuff, work ethic, and we're talking to people that are around him on a daily basis. And what's missed inside of national rankings, if Notre Dame finishes in the top 10 or the 10th in 247 or a Rivals ranking, what's missing is those components that we put a lot of, that Coach Kelly and the staff put a lot of, onus on in terms of our evaluation process. So that's our rating system. I don't want to dive too deep into it and bore you with it, but that's what we're doing throughout the entire recruiting cycle.
Look, we are always in the business of creating competition and making this team better. We had an opportunity here with the numbers to add a quarterback to our roster. We felt like there was a need for a veteran presence in the room. Obviously, contrary to popular belief, we were spoiled here for the last 5 years with Ian Book. And we had an opportunity to add a veteran, a guy that could come in, help the younger players, come in, provide some guidance, come in, make our team better. And then also, like I started with, add competition to make the room better. I don't think many people know this, but the exciting thing for me was when, I had the conversation with the other quarterbacks that we are going to be bringing in a grad transfer. To a man, they all were excited about the opportunity to bring in a veteran that can help improve them, that can help make them better, that can help add competition to the room. The short time I've been around Jack and the conversations we had leading up to now, he is a extremely mature young man. He is one that has won a lot of football games in a very competitive conference. Since the day we first, talked, he has been nothing but very mature and businesslike in his approach. And we're extremely excited to add him to the group and get to working here later in March. But we're extremely excited to get him, finally here. Obviously, it's been a great process to get to know he and his family. They're wonderful people. The thing that jumps out about Tyler is similar to what we just talked about, those intangible things that you may not see on film, which is fantastic, but his test score coming out of high school through the roof, right? His ability to retain information in almost a weirdly smart way where it's borderline photographic and he's able to retain things and spit them back to you. The way that his peers, his high school coaches, people spoke about him in the area, the maturity level that he carries himself with on a day-to-day really encompasses everything we're looking for in a quarterback at Notre Dame. And we're extremely excited to get to work and finally get him onto campus. Look, it's going to be a process, right? We have, an extremely talented group in the quarterback room. We're excited about all the guys and their opportunities to help us win games. At the end of the day, playing the quarterback position is about putting your offense in positions to win, right? It's putting your offense in positive plays, one after the other. It's about leading the team down the field, stringing together first downs, and putting points on the board. So whichever quarterback in our group is able to do that most successfully is going to have a chance to play here. And if that's Tyler early, that's Tyler, right? We are in an open competition. We have the ability to evaluate all of our guys and allow them to showcase their strengths and give them an opportunity to lead this offense. And again, we are never shy about adding competition to this group. It's going to be an extremely competitive year. And I do believe that brings out the best in guys. And I can't tell you how excited I am just to get going and start this new chapter.
Thanks for having me. Obviously, it's an honor to be here, to be a part of this program, to be a part of Coach Kelly's staff. I'm extremely excited. I'm eager to get to work. It's been a crazy 3 weeks. Been here probably a little bit over 3 weeks. And you know, you first try to get to know and connect with your players. It's hard when they were gone. School hasn't started. It hadn't started till this week. And to try to get to know them over FaceTimes and over the telephone and to make a connection with them was the first thing I wanted to do. And then I wanted to get right to work. I wanted to evaluate our current roster and kind of pick the brains of our recruiting staff and the people around here and start recruiting. And so it's a unique process in the way I'm finding out in the way that the University of Notre Dame football program we recruit. And it's different than I've ever done. You know, it's from coast to coast. Every state in the United States is up for grabs for us. We're going to evaluate every player across the nation, and it's nothing like I've ever done. You know, I've been more a regional, find the best players in your local region, and then maybe get one or two outside your region. So it's a very unique process in terms of you have to find the right guys that fit your program and what you're looking to do here at the University of Notre Dame. I'm finding out every day how special this place is. And I say that because, you know, when you're recruiting at Notre Dame, it's unique in terms you can get every player in the country to answer your phone call or every player in the country to return your call because they respect the brand, they respect the University of Notre Dame. And so it's been unique in that way. But we have to find you know, the guys that fit this place because it's what's best for us and what's best for them. And so I'm continuing to learn every day what that guy is, what that student athlete is like, you know, because it is a very unique individual. In terms of recruiting to their scheme, my scheme, it's going to be our scheme. I am big on let's get the best players that we can find, and we can tailor our scheme around those guys. Okay. And that's the same thing I'm doing now with the staff. I'm not coming in here dropping a book and saying, this is what we're going to do. You know, let's evaluate our guys. Let's evaluate the best players on our defense and put them in positions to be successful. And that's how I've always been. You know, I've never said, hey, you have to fit this position. Hey, what is his positive traits? What things does he do well? And let's make sure that we tailor our defense around those strengths.